Hey everyone, Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. Today I will show you a recipe on chicken meatballs, which are cooked in a rich, creamy gravy. It is a simple and straightforward recipe that turns out to be very delicious. Bring a small pot of water to a boil. Add an onion to it and boil for 5 minutes. I used yellow onions, but you can use red onions as well. Now why boil the onion? Boiling the onion makes it more mellow, which is required for this recipe as the gravy is very delicate. After 5 minutes, take out the onion and run it under cold tap water to cool it down. Next is blender time. So blend a jar out and in goes the aromatics, ginger and garlic, then 4 tablespoons of plain unflavored yogurt. You can use Greek yogurt or regular plain unflavored yogurt. Tomatoes and a few stems of coriander, which gives a nice flavor to the gravy. But you can leave it out if you do not like the smell of coriander. Then suddenly it came to my mind that I completely forgot to add the boiled onion. That goes in. Blend to a very smooth paste. Next, coming to forming the koftas. I added boneless, skinless chicken thighs in my food processor and ground it to a smooth paste. These will be going in finely grated ginger and garlic, little bit of chopped coriander and green chilies. And my friends, please excuse my coriander speckled fingernail. Then breadcrumbs. Use fresh breadcrumbs. I was toasting bread for today's breakfast and then the bread got browned up beyond my liking as I got distracted with certain things. So I thought this is the best way to use them up. You can just take 3 sandwich breads and run them in your blender or food processor. I also added a tablespoon of oil, half a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of garam masala powder. Mix everything very well, just like kneading a dough. And please knead it very well, taking some time, because that will prevent the koftas from breaking. If you do not like cilantro, that is coriander leaves, use any herbs of your choice. Now let me tell you one thing, my friends. I do not believe in getting my mind fixed with that particular word authentic, especially when it comes to cooking in my kitchen for my family or maybe for myself. In that way, we tend not to try a recipe just for the sake of disliking or maybe unavailability of a particular ingredient. After all, you are cooking for your family. So please do whatever you like or your family prefers. Make them happy by using whatever they like or you like, and let not that word authentic stop you from trying a recipe with whatever ingredients you have on hand. Okay, enough of blah blahs. Let's get back to the recipe, shall we? After mixing everything, you can keep this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes so that the meat forms up well before forming or shaping them into koftas. And when it is kept in the refrigerator, I have observed that it gets easier to form the koftas. I did not have that time, so I went straight into forming the balls. Squeeze the meat to release any air pockets and then shape them into tight koftas. Please see to it that there are no cracks on them. You can make them round or oval or shape them in whatever way your heart desires. You can also put them in the refrigerator after shaping them. Then take them out just before making the gravy. Next, let's make the gravy and you'll see how easy it is to put together. Heat about 6 tablespoons of oil. Add the pureed tomato yogurt mixture before the oil gets too hot. If the oil gets too hot, then there will be a lot of splatter and it may be quite dangerous for you. So add it when the oil is just warm, and in that way the yogurt also won't split. Stir on medium-low heat first. Then when it starts to bubble, stir it continuously on medium heat for a few minutes. When you see the oil starting to float on top, add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar, which is totally optional. Then 2 teaspoons of Shahi garam masala powder, which is an aromatic blend of several spices. I will leave the link to my homemade Shahi garam masala powder in the description box. It makes any kind of meat dishes very flavorful and I always prefer making it at home. Next, 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, that is dhania powder, and a teaspoon of ground cumin, that is jeera powder, goes in. Add the meatballs one by one in a single layer. Leave it like this on medium-low heat for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, see how the meatballs have started getting little creamish in color at the bottom? When you see that, gently give the pan a little bit of shaky. Then with the help of a small spoon, gently turn each kofta. Please do this very carefully with gentle hands so that they don't break. My friends, please remember you're handling delicate soft koftas here and not stones or pebbles. So please do this very gently. Then add a cup of slightly warm milk. You can also add 3/4 of a cup of warm water instead of milk. And then near to the end, you can mix in 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Or if you're allergic to milk, you can also use coconut milk. Give the pan a shaky and then cover the pan partially. Sometimes the meatballs break if the pan is covered fully, so I like covering it partially. I learned this trick from my aunt. Simmer on very low heat for 25 minutes. In between, give another shaky to the pan, but try not to use a spoon. Add whole green chilies. Adding them whole like this will not make the gravy overly hot. Then cover again. After 25 minutes, do a taste test and check the seasonings. I felt the need to add a little more of salt. Then 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And finally, I like grating about 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. You can also use store-bought ground nutmeg. And finally, a generous shower of my beloved coriander leaves. Again, if you do not like coriander, use parsley or any herb of your choice. And look at that color of the gravy. I didn't add turmeric powder, neither did I add any chili powder. But still, just look at that gorgeous color. You can serve this with naan, paratha, roti, rice or pulao. You can also drizzle some heavy cream or sour cream on top. And it is delicious. Please click the like button and do leave a comment for me. Bye bye.